Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of TechRise. Today, we have a very exciting competition. It's one of our place-based competitions. So even though we're virtual, we do have a great partnership with the Staines Family Foundation and the Morrison Family Foundation to focus on our west side neighborhood of North Lawndale and its neighboring neighborhood. So today's competitors are coming from that great area of Chicago and bringing us some incredible businesses. If you are unfamiliar with TechRise, we are a weekly pitch competition to support BIPOC and women identifying founders, all the way from idea stage to exit. So each week, 3 to 5 competitors take the stage. They pitch their business for 4 minutes, followed by some Q&A from some judges. And then those judges go and make the very difficult decision of who's going to win the prize money. Today's prize money is $50,000, so it's a meaningful amount. And we are joined, as always, by our friends at Verizon for the deliberation room. And then we have some incredible judges today, so I'm excited to bring them onto the stage. Oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Desiree Vargas-Wrigley. I'm Chief Innovation Officer at P33 and Executive Director of TechRise and 2-time Latina founder here in Chicago. All right, so now as I head over to our judges, I'm going to first welcome onto the stage Jason Mercer, who's coming back to join us as a principal at Cleveland Avenues Castas. He is Chicago-based, and his firm strategically finances innovative food and beverage adjacent concepts. He has over 10 years of work experience in strategy, finance, and M&A related roles within multinational and publicly traded organizations, and most recently in the food and beverage sector. So Jason, great to have you back on. Thanks for being here. And next we have Melissa Odell, who you've also hopefully seen in a previous episode. She's the Executive Director of Defy Ventures, Illinois. Prior to her position as Executive Director, she was the Vice President of Programs on the national team, and she spent 7 years at the Center for Court Innovation in New York, working to provide new opportunities to individuals involved in criminal justice system and increase the efficacy of the judiciary. From there, she served as the founding program director of the Community Assessment and Services Center in San Francisco, a large-scale reentry resource hub assisting clients on probation returning from incarceration. And specifically, Defy, if you're not familiar with it, helps justice-affected individuals from across Illinois to find a path and a future in entrepreneurship. So we're so excited to have you back on, Melissa. I'm proud of the work that you do here. And then our final judge is Tracey Suppo. She is the CEO and co-founder of Verve Romance and co-founder at Fifth Star Funds. Verve is a platform empowering the romance community through trusted connection, commerce, and curation. And Fifth Star Funds, as you hopefully remember, is a venture philanthropy fund enabling the city of Chicago to be the, quote, friends and family investors to Black tech founders. And she is a very successful founder here who's raised money and can be on both sides of the table. So Tracey, it's great to have you on. All right, and with that, we are going to just dive into our competition. So our first founder taking the stage today is Natalie Frazier with Virgie, the Virgie. And I might have said that wrong. Is it Virgie?
Virgie, yep.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'll let you know when we can see your screen and you'll be good to go.
Cool. Cool. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep, you're good to go.
Cool. Hey, y'all, my name is Natalie. I'm a West Side native and a North Lawndale resident, and I'm here to tell you about the Virgie, a coffee shop, community establishment, and neighborhood lounge. Serving 35,000 plus North Lawndale residents, we have a huge problem. We have 0 standalone non-franchise coffee shops, 0 bars or lounges that offer advanced hospitality training to employees, and 0 bars or lounges offering an innovative and fresh hospitality experience to intergenerational groups here in North Lawndale. The Virgie solution is simple. We hire residents, We train residents, we pay them a living wage. We collaborate with local and Black vendors. For example, Ida's Ice Cream, which is manufactured right here in North Lawndale, or Soleil, which is a Southern food concept coming to North Lawndale. We do community events with local talent, such as yoga instructors, musicians, and then we distribute resources back into the community. Some way we might distribute those resources is through free workshops with the local talent. Now, we have a huge customer base here in North Lawndale. We've got 2,000 plus center-based workers looking to grab a drink after a day on set. We've got hundreds of Lawndale Christian Corporation workers who are tired of eating the same fast food for lunch. We've got 7,000 kids at local high schools and elementary schools. And we've got 20,000 North Lawndale adults who have nothing to do in the evenings, who we plan to capture with our programming, such as R&B speed dating, bourbon and bingo, and open mics. We also have a massive community of food and drink connoisseurs in Chicago who are going to flock to the Virgie for the innovative food and drink experience we plan to give them. We also, So our go-to-market is simple. We're going to brand ourselves well and consistently via social media, create a buzz. We're going to bring 3 or 4 cocktails and 2 coffee drinks to a pop-up in North Lawndale and introduce the community to our concept. And then we're going to do a block party on the block that the business will open. Now, competition, few and far between. You have no places in Lawndale offering the vibe, low prices, location, staff expertise, and hours that the Virgie will provide. Now, $25,000 from TechRise pays for phase 1 of our plan, which is marketing materials, hiring the accountant and lawyer we've already vetted, licensing, menu creation, employee recruitment, and more. In phase 2, we plan to completely subsidize with city funding, which New Covenant Development Corporation, who has recently taken us on as a client, will help us to do. Now, who are we? I'm Natalie, the founder and general manager, and this is Chris Kyles, my beverage director and assistant general manager. We know hospitality and we are our demographic. We've worked in the back of the house in the dishwashing pit, and we've worked in the front of the house, bartending, beverage directing, completing operations. We know what we're doing. Now, why does any of this matter? Well, this is personal. The Virgie is more than a coffee shop or a lounge. This is about continuing the legacy of my grandmother, Virgie, who's pictured here, and her late mother, Erdis. This is about creating a sense of belonging, purpose, love, and connection in the community of North Lawndale through hospitality. And the Virgie plans to do that. We are for North Lawndale, we're by North Lawndale, and we will be an incubator for the community through our free programming, through our affordable prices, through our innovative food and drink, and through everything we plan to bring. We are here for North Lawndale. Thank you.
All right, great job, Natalie. Thank you. You can stop sharing your screen and we can welcome the judges on. And Melissa, can you kick us off?
So first, Natalie, thank you so much for your presentation. It was great. I'm curious to hear a little bit about your recipe development. So you said you were going to have like a couple things, couple drinks, you're going to test them out. What does that process look like? How long does it take you to like, actually have something that you think is viable that you want to kind of test out?
Yeah, so my AGM, Chris, and I are, we've done bartending competitions all across the country. We're very well, versed in kind of cocktail beverage creation. So we probably come up with a bunch of different ingredients. Our menu will probably consist of like a few different, drink categories. We'll go through materials that, align with our demographic with North Lawndale. And then we'll, go into the lab, so to speak, the bar, test them out on each other, bring in family and friends, bring in our demographic, have them taste, and then, hammer out cocktails. That's probably like a month-long process of really sourcing ingredients, local ingredients, and taste testing.
Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation, and excited about something like this in that part of the community. Just like an ongoing basis, what do you think this type of operation cost, or I guess what do you need to make to kind of essentially break even, on a month-to-month basis, just trying to think through, the ongoing cost that it needs to run the business?
For sure. So monthly operations for a place like this in North Lawndale, and we plan to buy our own place, we're looking at probably $20,000 to $35,000 a month. That'll be with employee, wages. That'll be with employee healthcare. That'll be our utilities for the space, our mortgage. We plan to get some good deals on our inventory. We both are pretty well connected in the liquor and drink community here. So we don't plan to spend too much on our monthly operations. That 30 to 35,000 will also probably cover our our contracts with local vendors who we're going to bring in and sell. We'll have like a rotating menu. So very low operating costs for the month. With ideal turnout each day, we plan to be making at least 5 to 6K a day in, just revenue. So 30,000 for monthly operations at most, right? That's if we're having to, constantly replenish inventory and things like that. So that's the high end of our monthly operational costs.
And Tracey.
First of all, thank you so much. I absolutely loved your presentation. I love that it's by Lawndale, by North Lawndale, for North Lawndale. I'm just curious if you guys have done actually any on the ground research and have you actually interviewed people locally to find out what specifically they're looking for, so that that you're exactly what they want?
Thank you for that question, Tracey. I'm a North Lawndale. I recently bought a house here. I do a lot of talking to, folks in the community, my friends, my family. I know a few teachers at some of the elementary schools. KIPP, there to me seems like a very, very real need for a space like this. However, we do plan to do some official surveying. We're going to collaborate with New Covenant Development Corporation to actually get on the ground, build a survey that's going to get all of those questions answered for us and really distribute that to the community online, social media, and in-person surveys. So we plan to do that, but just from word of mouth, who I've been talking to, this is my community, I feel like there's a very, very real need for this and a very real desire.
We have about 30 seconds left. If you have any other questions.
I think my AG. Oh, I thought you were saying.
Well, no, but go ahead. If you want to add some comments, if there's no other questions, go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to stress that my AGM and I have both worked in bars and restaurants across the city, from River North to West Loop. We know this industry well. However, it does take a certain finesse and a certain knowledge to do this in North Lawndale. And we are really well equipped to do that. We've worked clubs, all type of clubs. We know how we're going to make this fit for this community, which is not the way you can do it in a Wicker Park or a West Loop. And we're very well prepared to make those changes and to really tailor this to the community.
Great job, Natalie. I'm sorry that Melissa had a question that we didn't get to. Maybe you guys can cover it in chat, but wonderful job. And I'm going to have us switch over now to AJ Johnson with House of AJ.
They did the video. Just say okay.
We don't see your video yet. We just hear your voice. There you go.
There you go. Sorry. Yes.
No worries. And Jason, I'm going to have you go video off.
Hi, everyone. I'm AJ Johnson. I am from House of AJ. I am which is a mediation company. What we're doing is trying to make life better.
AJ, do you have, sorry, do you have a screen you want to show us, or just seeing you?
Yeah. Hold on 1 sec. I still see Desiree, her screen. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. Looks like it's coming. So, all right, once you're in presenter mode, we will be good to go.
1 second.
But it looks like we're in for some beautiful branding. So
I hope so when we get it up here.
It's that little bottom icon down on the bottom right by the scale. The slider. That's presenter mode on the bottom. Looks like an easel. Something. All right, well, if we can't get into it, why don't we just go get started with you in this view?
Okay, you still don't have, okay, I'm AJ Johnson. I am a native from the West Side. I'm currently residing West Side. I was known originally from the fashion and beauty industry, a celebrity hairstylist for years. I developed a clothing line that I manufacture and do on the West Side of Chicago. My stores, everybody's out of there. I worked with several nonprofits, a lot of inner city children from the North Lawndale and the west side of Chicago, because that's where I'm from. I went to school on the west side. And my whole thing was, when women sit in my chair, I used to hear women all the time say how they were depressed. They had good lives, they had everything. And then I started dealing with children. And then I found out that children was depressed at the earliest age of 3. So me working with a lot of the West Side, inner side children, they had young parents and all that. So I wanted to give them a way to escape from the depression and find them an outlet. So my way was to find a way of dealing with inner beauty, inside and out. So I think if a person wakes up in the morning, you have the ability to see if you're going to be happy and how you can make the best out of that day. So what I decided to do was come up with an app where you can use it at the privacy of your home. If your child is going through issues or anything like that, the mother can go to the app and have someone to talk to. If they want to talk to young mothers, they don't know how to deal with that. They have several kids. And it would be so much better if I had my problem. So sorry that it's not up.
We can actually see your slides. You're not going to.
Oh, you do see my slides? Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, good. So yeah, I just wanted to say, because there's a graph where I did some studies on depression and how it's like 18 million people, adults in the world, are dealing with depression. No matter how.
AJ, I'm going to have you stop for a second. Just click on slide 4.
Slide 4.
Yeah, and then hit the down arrow when you need to. Because we can see your slides. I am not
the most computer savvy person. That's why.
That's okay. No worries. We just want you to know, we want you to be able to be on the right slide. So if you hit the down arrow on your keyboard, you should be able to keep going down to other slides.
I can't see. The only thing I see is you guys on my computer here.
Okay, we see 18 million adults. So
okay, good. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there we go. So 18 million adults suffer from depression. And that's what I'm saying. And like I said, I work with all type of people, and I would see somebody to come in, and how I found it that was, if someone looks good, they feel better, So that's what my whole thing was. So I'm aesthetically a visual person because I'm more creative, but I like people to be happy and be, successful and feel good. And what I found is that if somebody finds something that they are good at and they look good or they feel good, it makes them feel better. So that's why I started working with the younger children when I found out children were developed. So I developed the app, and what the app will do, we have mentors. So if the child is interested in music, have people that can help them with music. Like I was a little West Side guy from Chicago. I didn't know about fashion or beauty or anything like that. It was in at my age, nobody knew that. So that's why if I would have known that back then, I could be doing this now, and I could teach other children to say, whatever your passion is, and that could take you out of that depression, because when you find something that you know how to do, that you're good at, you'll be better at it. So with this app, if you're interested in music, I have mentors. Like I'm a mentor for the fashion beauty. I have music mentors. I have people that's into sports. I have people that's into education. I work with KIP. I work with CPS. I do regeneration charter schools. These are people who's been helping me in volunteering their service, as we help the inner city kids. The kids, it changes their lives. There's a time I took one of my mentors my little mentees on a trip. She did a photo shoot for me. She said, this is the happiest day of my life. So she didn't even know that that's obtainable. They see stuff on social media, but they don't know how they can do that, how they can obtain and be what I am, how they could be an AJ. I had a television show called Chicago-licious. That was a dream that I wanted to do. People say they're not going to film the show in Chicago, but I was determined to make sure that I make this happen for me. And I introduced this to all type of people that would never think this could happen for them. So with this app, I just want people to know, whatever your passion, whatever your interest is, whatever you're going through, if you learn and know how to do this better, and we put you with people who know it, like if it's athletic, if it's sports, if it's music, if it's education, if it's acting.
I got to cut you off and give us some extra time because of just the technical difficulties, but I'm going to bring the judges on to ask some questions, and maybe we can dive into some of these details. No worries. It happens. So if everyone could join us, and Jason, if you could kick us off, but AJ, you might want to start out with how you would use the prize money, since you didn't get a chance to talk about that one.
Well, I definitely will use $25,000 for the app, because apps are very expensive. I tried to do this before and it was way high. So now I would develop the app as first. That's what I would have to do. And then the other $25,000 I have needed for my mentees and my mentors so I can pay them. Like right now, they've been volunteer. They want to help the community, they want to help the West Side. So, and they definitely, will provide their services. But if I could definitely pay and get more people, that would be great too.
All right, Jason, do you have a question?
Sure. And you started talking about the pay. For the app itself, have you worked with developers before, or do you have a third-party team? You do like, so I guess.
Yes, I did. I have a third-party team, and I did work with the apps before. But like I said, when I first tried to do this, the apps were super expensive because that's when they were like first coming out. So now I'm working with a third party that they said this is something that's doable, and I would be able to have a budget that they can make this happen with the app.
Tracey. We can stay unmuted for this part if it makes it easier. Go ahead.
I'm curious what the competitive landscape looks like and what other apps might exist out there, and how you would differentiate yourself from those.
And that's just it. I didn't see any other apps out there that's geared towards in the Chicagoland West Side area. I mean, they stay on their phone all the time dealing with apps, but they're looking at videos and other things, but nothing that can better themselves, on where they can build and find a passion, like I found a passion, and then they can get the knowledge and it's at the touch of a button. You can do it at the privacy of your home, right here in Chicago. So I couldn't find anybody else who had one.
All right. And Alyssa.
Yeah, hi, AJ. Thank you for your presentation. I know that mentorship is so vital, but it can also be really tough sometimes to pair folks. Sometimes the mentorship doesn't always work out. Have you thought about how will you have the diversity of mentors that you want that have all this expertise and the people who want to be matched? And how do you know whether or not the matches have been successful?
Well, I am a people's person, and I have a Rolodex of lots of people from all parts of the, so I would definitely mesh them with a person that they can, get along with, that's not intimidated them, that they can look up to, that they would be, feel very comfortable with, and they can express their thoughts with it, and their dreams. And that's just say they have the dreams, but sometimes they don't want to say like, oh, this could never happen. I would never be able to do this. And it'll be somebody that's doing the same thing.
All right, great. Well, we're just
and
about
that's
time.
What this would do in the app. Yes.
Thank you, AJ. I know that was a rough start on the tech side, but you really
very rough start. Yes.
But you did a good job communicating. That's okay. Your slides were beautiful, and your mentorship app came through. So thank you. And we are going to.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks.
Of course. And next, we're going to invite Chrislin Christian on with Critical Youth Media. Oh, wait, AJ, you're not muted yet. Thanks. All right. And I think we should get your presentation over as soon as AJ's goes down.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hopefully you can override it. Can you check what happens when you hit share?
It says you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
All right, perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you, AJ. Oh, now it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, okay. Well.
Now it's good. Now it's good.
Good. Now we're good. Okay. Well, I'll go video off and we'll be ready for you when you are.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna.
Perfect. We're ready.
Okay. And I'm sorry. I just need to make sure I'm looking at Lucy's window. Okay, great. Hi, everybody. I'm Chrislin Christian, founder of Critical Youth Media. I was born and raised in North Lawndale, once a thriving, self-sufficient neighborhood deeply connected to the international movement for Black liberation, but now known for its high rates of unemployment, poverty, and crime. I, quote unquote, beat the odds by graduating from Berkeley and buying a home off 16, but I can't live here and comfortably acknowledge that Black West Side youth are more likely to attend under-resourced dead-end schools and navigate neighborhoods that lack adequate public and community resources compared to their North and East Side neighbors. They are vulnerable to media stereotyping, that reinforces the societal bias that Black low-income youth are undeserving of humanity, let alone safe, accessible, nurturing, and well-resourced spaces outside of school that build their creative and communal well-being. And while there are creative and youth-focused grassroots organizations ready to distribute and share resources, they remain siloed and disconnected in the joint effort to revitalize Chicago's West Side. Critical Youth Media is a media literacy and digital storytelling program and platform for West Side Chicago teens, their families, and other allies that uses a progressive, curriculum-backed curriculum backed by world-class mind science research from the Perception Institute to provide transformative creative workshops and community events. At the Perception Institute, we use this research to provide cultural consultancy to large media production companies. Critical Youth Media seeks to equip Westside youth with this knowledge through immersive programming to help them produce original, creative narratives and digital content that counters harmful stereotypical narratives in mainstream media. Critical Youth Media seeks to cultivate a deeply connected Westside Chicago community while creating a platform with content that provides a critically necessary perspective into the depth and beauty of the ghetto. Our engaging programming and events are curated for both teen-only and intergenerational participants and provide a wide range of materials for community discussions and hands-on creative activities. Gatherings will be both virtual and in person, hosted by partnering schools, organizations, and businesses, and will feature local artists and community leaders. Instead of competing with local orgs doing similar work like Free Spirit Media, Critical Youth Media seeks to support a shared vision for Westside youth that centers collaboration. Our online space will provide a deeply comprehensive digital platform to showcase original youth-created art and content, live-streamed events, an archive of Westside art and cultural movements, a catalog of creative and academic resources, and an active community bulletin. Incentivized surveys and focus groups will track progress and impact over time, and this data will help improve our programming and strengthen our grant writing. Critical Youth Media will eventually house its programming in a physical space, providing varied membership to workshops, events, and quality professional spaces for neighbors working on creative and community projects. The physical space will also be a cultural hub for the community, modeling the structure of a Little Black Pearl, the Southside Community Arts Center, and the Sonia Island Arts Bank, but in the historical North Lawndale neighborhood and for Westside youth and families. With 25 to 50K, Critical Youth Media can launch pilot programming for up to 2 years to build strong foundations with organizations, schools, and individuals in North Lawndale and on the West Side. Funds will also go towards expanding our digital platform and launching our community bulletin. So why me? Aside from my background as a creative, academic, and educator, I'm currently shifting towards cultural consultancy in the story and representation department at the Perception Institute, inviting a large network of strategists, local community leaders, artists, and youth development professionals with a shared vision to collaborate as thought partners. The Critical and Critical Youth Media rejects the negative stereotype of its name and instead symbolizes a catalytic turning point in the stream of movement, a paradigm shift towards a more connected, introspective, and representative Westside community. Black youth are a critical component of the Westside Chicago's future because they are the future, which is why it is critical that you choose to invest in Critical Youth Media. Thank you.
Great job, Chrislin. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to start with Tracey.
First of all, thank you. I absolutely love what you're doing. And I'm not sure if it's pertinent to TechRise, but I'm curious, is it a for-profit or nonprofit?
So I'm currently a nonprofit organization, but I definitely envision a partnering for-profit organization that will kind of house like more of the operations, and then the Critical Youth Media nonprofit will be focusing on programming. So yeah, does that answer your question?
I can clarify that for us too. We welcome nonprofits onto the TechRise stage that plan on having a sustainability model. And so
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. So I definitely plan to have a for-profit organization that would kind of be like where the workshops that are not for the youth and just the community driven events and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Chrislin, that was a great presentation. Thank you so much for your work. I'm curious about how you recruit the young people. Do you provide a stipend since you're a nonprofit, and how do you engage with the corporate community?
Absolutely. So definitely, I'm a strong advocate for economic agency for young people, especially. So I definitely provide stipends to youth. Definitely for summer workshops, if that is the model which I plan to go with, I definitely plan to provide a summer stipend, cover costs for transportation. I think that recruitment is really unique in North Lawndale and on the West Side because it's just really sometimes hard to connect and to retain youth. So definitely appealing to, the youth financially, but then also really building relationships with their families. I think that that's what's missing from a lot of the programming in our neighborhood is that we don't really consider the family unit or who's at home with the child. And I think that's really important to also get them into the space and build trust so that they know who we are and that they know what our intentions are with building up their kids.
Jason.
Sure, I echo the comments. Great, that the community needs things like this, so thank you. In terms of, I guess, for lack of a word, revenue model, how do you think it's generating? You know, is it kind of per class or per sign up, or is that something you're still working through? Just trying to think through that part.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. I'm definitely considering ways to increase the revenue. I definitely see a workshop, you know, you can pay by workshop, or you can also pay for a membership where you can access workshops. Of course, they involve a little bit more. Also with the physical space, I definitely plan to apply for lots of grants. There are so many really powerful grants out there that I plan to pursue. And then once I get the physical space, there will be more opportunity to rent out spaces, rent out, you know, creative spaces, office spaces, music audio rooms, things like that, just different spaces for youth to be creative and also to, you know, just generate some kind of buzz throughout the neighborhood. There are a lot of professionals that live around here that sometimes need a space outside of their home or that's not in downtown or somewhere else to just get some work done. So I definitely plan for it to be a hub that is open to the community in a way, but then also inviting other people to join and to build that model up. I definitely also see just once our art gets to a place, you know, having gallery openings and things for other people to come in and, you know, provide some revenue through those events.
We have 20 seconds if you have any last comments or quick questions.
Yes, I've been doing this since 2018 and it's taken a lot of iterations to get to this point. And I've done that by working with different organizations across the city and through my professional career to determine what will and won't work for my program. I'm ready to hop off the porch, as the kids say, and really get to it. So thank you so much for listening.
Well, thank you so much, Chrislin. And just a reminder to viewers about, we think of, you know, social entrepreneurs at idea stage here too on TechRise, and helping them formulate their plans for the future is a big part of our work. So if there was questions about the for-profit, that's because we want all entrepreneurs on here, including social entrepreneurs. All right, great job, Chrislin. And next we're going to go on to Eboni Clayton with QLE Beauty Resort.
Can you guys hear me?
We can't see you though.
Oh, okay. Turn the camera. Give me 1 second, you guys.
No problem.
All right, can you see me now?
No, we see your slides. Oh, we did see your slides. Now we just see my placeholder.
Okay, start my video. How about now?
There's your video. Now we just need to see your slides.
Yep. Slides are me. I'm getting them pulled up. Just getting the timer up here as well.
Okay, great.
All right, Eboni, as soon as you see your slides, floor is yours.
Gotcha. It's not here yet.
Yep, here you go.
Okay, I just did. You guys ready?
Ready.
All right. So, have you ever had to get ready for a special occasion and had to travel to multiple beauty establishments just to meet your beauty needs? I am a queen that overcame every obstacle that was meant to destroy her. My passion for beauty and fashion has helped me to overcome the obstacles of diabetes, dialysis, and blindness. Next slide, please. The problem with the beauty industry today is the inconvenience of services, lack of organizational structure, time management, overbooking, overcharged blueprint, and claim retention. Next slide, please. The solution is Queen LaDonna's Beauty Resort. It is a world-class, state-of-the-art, luxurious beauty resort. Next slide, please. What we created is an innovative menu of services in one convenient location. Our services include hair studio, spa and nails, theater pool. Next slide, please. Buffet, cocktail lounge. And we also host the hottest fashion shows and carry the high-end fashion merchandise into our retail department, along with beauty products and supplies. Next slide, please. Another solution that we came up with our technology, we have technology that help us with day-to-day operation, inventory, beauty reward points for our customers, and spa bookings. We also have an AR technology that uses for hairstylists and cosmetics images technology that allows clients to see a look before they actually get the service done. So next slide, please. So the AR technology, right? The clients can choose from different hairstyles and colors and see how it look on them right before they get the service done. That is a unique value proposition that we have. The next slide, please. The beauty industry right now is worth $500 billion. It's projected to be almost $800 billion by 2025. Next slide, please. Our competitors today is Ultra Beauty, Sally Beauty, Sports Clips, Macy's, Nordstrom's, and King Spa, and Red Door, and multiple other local competitors as well. Next slide, please. My team and I has achieved multiple milestones. In 2015 to 2017, I received my master's degree in business marketing and sales. I also did research development by putting out beauty surveys, case studies on the hottest trends, customers' behavior, shopping habits, and to really see what the customer actually want and need from the beauty industry. In 2018 to 2022, QLE Beauty Resort was born. We got incorporated. We also got business beauty licenses. We also hired a creative director to do our logo, our virtual reality beauty resort, which you can find on our website to take a tour. We also launched our new website, our social media platform, and in 2023, we are looking to launch our beauty competition reality show. Next slide, please. So,
I have to stop us. Eboni, I'm sorry,
ahead.
we're at time, but that's okay.
That's cool.
We're going to bring our judges on, and we're going to have Melissa kick off with the first question, please.
Okay.
Hi, Eboni. Thank you so much for your presentation. I think it sounds really amazing. But I also know that people tend to be very loyal to their stylists and their makeup people, etc. So can you talk a little bit about how you hire your stylists? Do you partner with any beauty colleges, with other salons? Like, how does that work?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question because that's what I was leading up to. Okay, so with the money that I received from winning this competition, I'm going to take the money and launch a beauty competition. Now, the beauty competition is to bring all the beauty professionals together. That is hairstylists, makeup artists, and also nail artists and fashion stylists. So what they're going to do is they're going to compete for a 2-year contract to work with our beauty resort, and they get a sign-on bonus. They have to pay $100 registration fee. We will receive revenue from the $100 registration fee, and along with the YouTube subscribers and the ad space from the YouTube channel. Now, the problem with the beauty industry is a lot of independent stylists out here, right? They don't have a home. So they stuck with paying booth rent at regular beauty salons, and who to say that they don't get the clients they need and they still have to pay booth rent. So we don't pay booth rent. We have W-2 employees. So they get health benefits, they get to file taxes, they get paid weekly, and they don't have to supply the beauty products. We supply them with the beauty products. We do the marketing for them. Only thing they have to do is be on point with the app and see their bookings and everything. Now,
I'm gonna interrupt for a few more questions. So Jason, do you have a question?
Sure. No, thanks for the conversation. When you're looking at the different things you're doing, it's doing a lot. I guess what would be like the first? So with this 50,000, what would be the very first thing you would do in terms of setting up, the whole operation?
The first $50,000 is that I'm going to use it for a marketing competition on a global platform, because my goal is to reach the best talent in the world. So I want to staff. That's every time that I open up a location, because this business is going to be a franchise. I'm going to franchise this into all over the world. So every time I open up a location, I'm going to have a beauty competition to staff my employees. So the $50,000 going towards marketing. Is also going to for the place, the beauty supplies, the stuff that I need for them, because I want to supply the beauty professionals everything they need: the beauty products, the hair tools, the supplies, and the location. I have to pay a venue.
Okay, I'm going to get one more question from Tracey.
Thank you so much. Your passion for what you're doing is very clear. I'm curious. I'm kind of going off of Jason's question. So, in order to even open up your first location, do you have a sense of what that cost looks like to get the first location up and off the ground?
Yes. So I did a full evaluation when I was in college. So I've been studying this market for 12 years, right? So in those 12 years, I have learned a lot of things.
5 seconds. What's your answer? 5 seconds.
Okay. So what was your question again? Sorry.
How much does it cost to get this started?
Okay, it costs $10 million to get started. So that's
okay,
why I'm doing the beauty competition.
I gotta cut us off. I'm so sorry, Eboni. Thank you so much for the presentation. We're gonna go to our last competitor. We have Dion Turner joining us from Lucrative Color, and everyone else can go video off.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to give a shout out to all the contestants that went before me. Really great pitches and everything.
Thank you. Eboni, could you go video off and audio off?
Okay. One second. Video.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, we're just waiting for Eboni. Yep, perfect. You are good to go.
Okay. Hold on. Ready? On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Hey, founders. Do you know 140,000 small businesses open every day? Do you know what challenges these entrepreneurs have in common? Well, let me tell you. One of the many challenges entrepreneurs have is the lack of support. Another challenge is the limited knowledge and experience in the industry alone. Eventually, you will hit a point in your learning curve where you feel clueless. Maybe you don't know how to create a marketing strategy or just a business logo in general. We find these challenges to be crucial in any entrepreneurship journey, because without support, how can you generate revenue to elevate your business? Secondly, with learning new skill sets can make for better decisions about investments, tactics, and roles. Our solution to this problem is Lucrative Color, a social platform for entrepreneurs to gain resources like learn technical skills and collaborate with other artists. How does this work, you may ask? Users can search our online database for resources like grants and job opportunities. Next, users can take courses with our expert at our local space. And lastly, users can follow social campaigns to collaborate with other local professionals to tackle issues in their own community. Educational services is a $2 trillion industry with a 4.5 growth rate for the year 2020. Our target audience are 16 to 24-year-olds, people that make less than $40,000 a year who wants to become tech savvy but have limited amount of resources. Our go-to market strategy is we want to continue to participate in social events to gain knowledge about our artists. Next, we want to post social media ads and produce brand merchandise to create a supply and demand market. What makes us different? We offer online and in-person workshops. We have experts locally sourced from the community, and 15% of all merchandise proceeds goes to development programs. Some of our milestones are the winner of the Wagyu Studio Pitch Competition and generating over $2,500 in t-shirt sales alone. Why you see gaps in my timeline? That's because during the pandemic, both of my parents passed away. But that didn't deter me from my entrepreneurship journey. It led me to push harder because I didn't have support myself. The next 4 months for us, we want to create a demo class, hiring a marketing team, and partnership with our first local organization. Our ask today, founders, is $50K. What that look like is a marketing and ad budget, computer equipment plus software, and legal and wage fees plus studio equipment. Why me? Why now? My name is Dion Turner. I'm 25 years old. I graduated from Columbia College in Foley Design, participated in over 50 social events around Chicago with 7+ years in streetwear entrepreneurship and 10 years being a graphic designer, which is self-taught. Hence why I made the platform. How Chicago look different when we succeed? Because it started at a local level before international level. 13 through 24-year-olds are committing carjackings and senseless crimes in Chicago. The reason is because of idle time and the lack of income producing skill sets. My solution to this problem is that we will host affordable entrepreneur and technical skill workshops on the west side of Chicago with local partners to replace idle time with income producing skill sets like graphic design, screen printing, and photography. Come connect with us, partners, to make an impact on the Chicago West Side. Thank you.
Great job, Dion. And great job on timing. Thank you. Judges, you can come on. And Jason, could you kick us off with a question?
Sure. As you're thinking about this moving forward, can you talk a little bit more about the revenue model? So love the idea that working with business owners to provide advice, but is it, buying coaching sessions or membership, or how are you thinking about that?
So how we want to go about our business model is first I want to buy a marketing team or hire a marketing team so I can develop the program and develop the platform. Then I want to create a subscription-based service for each technical workshop that I will have. So how we'll go about doing it is that I would sell some classes, but also offer free classes to the community.
And Tracey.
Thank you very much. I'm curious if you've ever personally taught classes before, or if you have a network of instructors that are skilled in teaching these different disciplines.
So great question, by the way. To answer your question, I have both taught classes and I have a network of skilled experts within the North Lawndale community that I would love to work with. And the reason I want to pick experts from the community, because people learn best when they see people, when they have people from their own community that looks like them. So that's why I want to pick people from the community.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dion. I really love your idea. I'm kind of curious about if you think that there's a difference of approach in how you're teaching if your clients are service-based business versus product-based businesses.
Okay, so that's a great question too. So to answer your question, is both service and product-based, because the service we providing is entrepreneurship classes to disenfranchised community. And the product that we're providing is merchandise that I have on today from Lucrative Color that represents our brand, that 15% of all merchandise proceeds goes back into the community.
We have some time for more questions. Does anyone have one?
If I could just ask a follow-up. So in terms of the classes, are they all synchronous learning? So the people have to sign on in the moment and they're being taught in real time? Or is it asynchronous as well, where they can watch on demand?
So it is both. So with our online platform, we would do exactly what we're doing now, have Zoom calls, record the Zoom calls, and then upload them to our website. Then with our in-person learning, it would be people will sign up weeks in advance to be a part of the class. Then as the class come about, we can have the people come in and start learning.
Any other questions? Dion, is there anything else you wanted to share?
Thank y'all for the opportunity. I promise you, being 25 years old and at this point in my life, really trying to venture out and understand what it means to be an entrepreneur is really an achievement in itself, to be on here with other founders and other venture capitalists and to show my idea. So thank you very much.
Well, it has been a pleasure hearing your vision, Dion. Thank you. And thank you to all the founders who took the stage today courageously. This is not a normal behavior for all of us, pitching like this in front of strangers. So congratulations to you all. And thank you to the judges who have the very hard job right now to figure out who's going to win what prize money. So judges, we're going to say goodbye to you. And I'm going to welcome our friend James Parker back to the TechRise stage. James, if you want to come on, I'll read a quick bio for you. He's the founder and CEO of 1921 Coworking and the 1921 Incubator, which is designed to help tech and manufacturing startups get trained, funded, and launched. Their co-working and shared office space provides opportunities for entrepreneurs and small business owners to grow, and to participate in training classes to help grow their businesses in a fun and vibrant community. So nice to see you again, James.
Great to see you. Oops, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. My
Okay,
internet's
good,
a little
good.
bit wonky today, so I don't know if yours is too, but I need to switch over to
No.
Verizon 5G. I haven't done it at home yet. Promise I will.
We have it at our house. I'm not even going to say who we had before, but never mind. That's a whole other story.
Then it must
But,
be my
yeah.
internet that's wonky, not yours. Gotta get out of this contract. Okay, but that's not the point of this. How have you been?
I've been great. I've been doing well. Very excited. Very excited. Great to reconnect. Again, it was really encouraging getting email from Sean and Lucy as well. So it was really cool.
Great. Well, for people who haven't heard about you guys, do you want to talk a little bit about the history of 1921?
Absolutely. So 1921, right here on the hat. We are the very first tech and manufacturing style incubator, co-working incubator space opening on the far south side of Chicago. We're right in the heart of Roseland. So we're right on 110th and Michigan Avenue. It was set up to basically focus on African American and Hispanic, as well as women-owned startups. In other words, creating a space that, and working in conjunction with other incubators, creating a space that we can really create that tech hub on the far south side of Chicago. In other words, connecting, making a link. 1871, can't do everywhere. They can't be everywhere, but we can play a role in creating that little pin in the dot, in the yarn on the south side, and then putting a pin on Pilsen, and then making the yarn connect. And so that's pretty much what 1921 is designed to do. It's not to be separate from the tech hub and the ecosystem that's already built, which is fantastic, but be a part of it and say, hey, listen, we can all do our part to move every kind of startup forward.
Yeah, we feel the same way with TechRise, that it's not supposed to be something different, or it's supposed to be different, but it's supposed to fill a gap, right? And so
right.
And it's quite a hike to come down to the Loop and to River North if you're not already living there. I don't live there, so I can attest. Yes.
Yeah.
So the history of the name, the history of the founding team.
Absolutely. So 1921 is, much like 1871 was named after the Great Chicago Fire, and the number of architects and engineers who came from all over the world, immigrants who came from all over the world to rebuild Chicago. 1921 is named after the historic Black Wall Street. What a lot of people don't know is that, do know that Black Wall Street was a thriving community of 600 Black-owned businesses, 10,000 residents in Tulsa, Oklahoma, before it was destroyed. But what a lot of people don't know is that days after it was destroyed, a lot of the Black-owned businesses were not deterred. They were not deterred by hate. They were not deterred by what was going on. They literally reopened their businesses with buildings still smoldering. And 1921 is named to honor that and say, hey, listen, we want to build a tech ecosystem like Black Wall Street was built, right? Where they focus on brick and mortar businesses. We're going to focus on, tech and manufacturing. And it's really named to honor that the resilience of those Black businesses.
Yeah, no, it's critical that we remember the work that others have paved before us, and to make sure we honor that greatness and build upon that foundation, even if it's been a decade, to do it. So, and now we have, a new platform, which is the web and tech and advanced manufacturing. So it's exciting to see you guys choose a vertical that is so important to our historical economy of Chicago. I'm curious if you have some specific businesses that you're working with that you could tell us about, that you're excited about.
Yeah, so we have about 10 startups in our pipeline. One of them is a dating app we're launching hopefully in November. And so the app is almost done. We're still doing some beta and doing some things and, making sure there's no quirks. Launching a startup in Chicago, you have to come correct, right? You can, I mean, of all the startups that have launched here, you know, you can't launch and have one mistake. You know, I mean, mistakes happen, but you got to come out the gate, you know what I mean, like ready on fire. And so we're very excited about that app. Can't say
Can you
the
tell
name
us what
yet,
it's called?
it's coming out. It's called Meet
Okay.
at 6. It's a cool concept on dating. It pulls. We did a lot of research, and it pulls a lot of things that people like and don't like in the dating scene, and the things that they love, and all of that is in one app, and it's going to be really cool. We're very excited about that. We have another app launching in February for couples to have an incredible date night. Just making sure those relationships are good. We've got a great virtual. We have a number. I mean, manufacturing. We have a product that we're waiting on the mayor. Hopefully, she's listening to give us our 3D printer. She promised. No. Anyway, we have a really cool product that we're putting together that will not necessarily rival Ring Doorbell, but we believe it can quickly be acquired by Amazon that owns Ring. So we have a number, and we're all over. I mean, the beauty of as you know, like 1871, they can launch whatever, right? We're not focused on one, you know, healthcare or whatever. We're focused on getting tech startups launched. And the thing with 1921, it makes us different, is that all the startups we're launching will launch Black communities or Hispanic communities. So they won't launch downtown in Fulton Market, right? They will launch in Roseland, Inglewood, Pilsen, Little Village, Austin, Chatham. And the goal is that if we launch the startups there, we can train the people there and the jobs can stay there. And now we move the communities forward from the inside out.
Absolutely. And I mean, we don't have hard data on this, but anecdotally, we do know to be true that, you know, when founders of color start businesses, they typically hire from within their own network for those kind of early employees, which usually means close family, friends, friend of friends. So it's often representative of the neighborhoods in which they build. And it's a critical piece of building high-paying jobs in our neighborhoods is, you know, founding these companies where these founders live. So kudos to you for doing that. What do you want the rest of the city to know in terms of what you're building and how we can help?
Sure. I mean, I think more than anything, you know, Chicago is in a crisis right now. There's a lot of things going on, and you know, and everybody's using theories of this and that. Honestly, the way you move a city forward is, you know, you have high-paying jobs. You know, I've worked in nonprofit for over 20 years, and you know, I've seen, you know, the single mom working 3 jobs trying to make it work. And it's hard to raise. I mean, my wife and I are married. We have great jobs, great kids, and it's hard to raise kids. And you both work. You know, I can only imagine a single mom or a single dad trying to work 2 or 3 jobs, raise 2 kids. But what if we were to replace those 2 or 3 jobs with one job, and she was making 50, 60, 70,000 a year? Wow, what does the community look like? What does the household look like? So I think what I would love for the city to know is that, hey, listen, there's a company trying to make it happen. And the support would be, you know, any kind of support, actually. You know, we've got 1921 Incubator NFP as our not-for-profit arm. You know, so anything that can happen, much like 1871, you know, our goal is to get, you know, help launch the right kinds of businesses that are going to create well, let me rephrase, the 2 things we look for in a startup: is it viable? Will it make money? And how many jobs will it create in the community? That's pretty much our criteria. You know, you're going to make money if we think it's viable, but the question is, how many jobs will it create in the community? And getting away from the, you know, the pillars in low income communities of the Walmarts and the McDonald's. You know, hey, those are great, but you can't have a whole community made of that. And so really, we just want the city to know, and you know, anyone listening, that hey, we're here, we're ready to rock and roll. You know, I'm a sponge. Anyone who offers any advice, I will sit down and listen. You know, I will be grasshopper or whatever. I forgot the name of that movie back in the day, Kung Fu. Yeah, I mean, and so that's how old I am. Geez. But anyway, that's what I would like everybody to know. We're here, and and our goal is to move the whole city forward in different neighborhoods.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely a passion that we both share, but it's also just like an economic truth that Black spending power and Latino spending power is getting massive, you know, locally, nationally, globally.
Sure.
And if we're not building solutions for this next wave of consumers, then we are missing out on massive wealth creation, even for our historical investors, you know, not just our new and emerging fund managers. I'm curious how you think about helping fund these companies, knowing how hard it's been in Chicago to get funding for Black and Latino founders.
Absolutely. So Harvard Business School published an article last year called Alternative Investments. And what they shared was the fastest growing segment of alternative investments was investing in startups, right? Before they launch or go public. It was the fastest. And that how now more retail investors are getting that opportunity. Well, the problem is, if you're a retail investor, meaning you use Robinhood or Coinbase, you're a retail investor. You're not unless you're privy to different incubators and things like that, there's no way you're going to get a chance to do that. So what 1921 did, we, in truth, full disclosure, we do have a large investor who's putting $1.5 million in, which we're very excited about. But what we decided to do, he challenged me to raise an additional $500,000, because we have to build out the building and everything like that. And so I'm sitting there and I remember reading this article and I said, wow, what if we created a platform where the everyday person, the retail investor, could get an opportunity to invest in 1921, and we would offer them this incredible shared equity in every startup. And it took off, right? And then shortly after that, Damon John came out with a platform, Mark Cuban has a platform. So now they're recognizing that the retail investor, like you said, the consumer, they're spending trillions of dollars. And so now they're creating these platforms where the everyday person, and I think that will be the wave, if you will, of being able to raise capital for businesses. And that's so in addition to, again, we have the security market, but in addition to that, being able to create an opportunity for the everyday person, the male person, the retiree, the whatever, to be able to invest in a tech startup and then create generational wealth. We're then able to now take those investments and now move Black and brown startups forward, the community forward, not to mention create new VCs, if you will, or new millionaires who are now committed to putting that money into the community. So
absolutely. Well, I mean, I think my background. I started one of the first crowdfunding platforms in the world with Give Forward, equity crowdfunding, traditional crowdfunding, and now these special purpose vehicles that we see on AngelList and other platforms are a really powerful vehicle for our community. So glad that you are leading that for our South Side founders, and can't wait to have you back and to hear the progress. So thanks for being here.
Oh, I can't wait to be. Thank you so much. Great to see you again, Desiree.
All right, looks like we have some winners selected. Who's going to announce here? And let's welcome all of our founders back onto the stage if we could. Feel free to go audio on and camera on so we can hear you celebrate.
So I am going to announce the winners. So the first, is it clear? I don't know if it's clear that there are winners at all.
You guys get to decide, so we don't even know. We're here waiting to find out what's happened.
All right, so we've actually broken it down a bit. So there are two winners at the $2,500 level, QLE Beauty and House of AJ. Congratulations. You've both won $2,500.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Then we have awarded $5,000 to Lucrative Color.
Congrats, Dion.
We have awarded $15,000 to Critical Youth Media.
Yay, congrats, Chrislin.
And we have awarded $25,000 to the Virgie.
Natalie and team, congratulations.
Great. Thank you.
All right, congrats to all of our founders.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We are over on time, so I'm not going to give everyone speaking time, but I want to say thank you to the Staines Foundation, to the Morrison Family Foundation, and of course, as always, to Verizon. Judges, you were incredible. Founders, you were even more incredible, and we are so proud to have you on this stage and can't wait to bring you back. Everyone have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Bye.